Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Top 5 Camps. I'm the 20-nippled golfer, and as ever, I've got some incredible builds to show you from some of the best builders in the 76 community. So most of you all know the drill by now, but for those who don't, the first half of video is going to be the best clean builds of the week, and second half is going to be the best immersive builds of the week. So with that being said, let's take a look at them. Right then, so in the number 5 spot for the best clean builds, we have Nina Alabaster with the Solitude Camp. And we'll start off by taking a look at the exterior, and I'll be 100% honest with you, Nina, I'm not a massive fan of it. But, and this is a very big but, guys, just like Cardi B, this is actually based off a real-world counterpart, or at least a concept for a real-life building. So when you look at it from that aspect, it makes more sense. It's actually quite an accurate representation, this. It's not far off at all. So yeah, Nina, I think you've done a great job at replicating the, what's it called, Marala Cliff House? I can't fault that whatsoever. And extra props to you for building in this location too. Building on a cliff is never bloody easy, and the way you've actually merged it in with the cliff as well, yeah, it looks really well done, that, Nina. Interior-wise, this is what did it for me. I absolutely love what you've done with this place. It is so well done. Literally, I loved every single bloody room on this build. I think my favourite part was the kitchen though. The way you've made those counters, it looks absolutely phenomenal. Another aspect I liked about the inside of it is, again, how the cliff face is actually, you know, inside of the build. It's a part of it. It really does add to the overall effect. Nina, you've done a solid job on this. I mean, like I said, the exterior, not really my thing, but it is a very good bloody replica of what you were basing it off. But for me, it was the interior that got me on this build. Stunning work. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 5 spot. In the number 4 spot this week, we have Dinglepies with the Whispering Pine Lodge. This has been very kindly filmed and uploaded by Silver Bunny on behalf of Dinglepies, so thank you very much for that. Right, so first things first, the exterior, and yeah, I like the design that we've got going down here. We've got a liberal use of slopey boys, which is, you know, it's always a win in my book, and overall, I think the shape is really smart. I mean, it's quite simple, there's nothing too much to it. However, simplicity, it's not always a bad thing, especially in modern, cleanish kind of builds like this. You do occasionally see people going way over the top with modern builds, and half the time there's no bloody need for it. This is perfect, this Dinglepie. Now, with that all being said, yeah, there is some nice little tricks being used on this. Number one, we've got underpinnings. That's something that tidies up a camp no end, in my opinion. It's always nice to see them. On top of this, we've got overhanging roof pieces. Again, it requires a little bit more work to, you know, get that effect, but it does transform a build in certain situations. I think my favourite thing about this whole exterior though is the way you've got the house itself supported on little columns. That's a properly nice touch, that is. I'm no builder or engineer, but I'm guessing if you're building a house like this on water, you're not going to want half of it, you know, submerged into a bloody lake, are you? Right, so that's the outside covered. Let's take a look on the interior, and yeah, this is a this is a properly well-decorated camp, this is, Dinglepie. Like, seriously, I can't fault any bit of it at all. I think my favourite bits are, again, much like Nina's, the kitchen area. That is beautifully put together. And I gotta say, I love the stairs you've made out of the... Is it the log cabin table, that? I think it is, yeah. I've seen it done a load of times now, but when it's done properly like this, it's always guaranteed to catch the eye. Dinglepie, overall, you've knocked this one out the park, pal. I love the exterior on the thing. The inside is beautifully decorated. And of course, as an added bonus, you've chose a bloody good location for Place It Down as well. You can't go wrong here. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 4 spot. In the number 3 spot this week, we have Daehlas with the Placid Paradise build. And again, this one's been very kindly uploaded on behalf of Daehlas by Moonlight Cowboy. So thank you very much for that, pal. So right off the bat, Daehlas, this build's bloody beautiful, mate. You've done a stellar job on the exterior at thing. I mean, guys, take a look at that. Seriously gorgeous looking camp. Now, off first glances, you wouldn't think that it's anything too complicated. You know, it's quite a basic shape. There's nothing too extreme about it. However, when you start taking a little bit more of an in-depth look, things do start to stand out for you. Now, of course, we have got obvious building trickery like the double layered roofs. That's always a nice thing to see. You know, I am seeing more camp builders using it, and it looks bloody amazing on modern style builds like this. However, like I just mentioned, there is some subtle design elements that you don't see straight away. For example, the stair placement there. Now, Daehlas could have just, you know, slapped them down in the normal spot and nobody would have, you know, thought anything about it. However, he's taken the time to blueprint them and free place them so they sit nice and snug against the wall. Is it really needed? Absolutely not, but it just goes to show how much time and effort Daehlas puts into his builds. It's little touches like that that make stuff like this stand out. Now, decor-wise, yep, Daehlas, once again, you've absolutely nailed it, pal. You're actually stupidly good at the decoration side of things. I mean, guys, take a look at it. We've not even gone inside yet, and look at the decor up here on this little rooftop garden area. That's just, that is shit hot, that is, dude. And look how you've merged the statue in with the fireplace as well. My days, mate, you spend way too much time thinking of this stuff. But no, seriously, this is the kind of thing that makes me look at a camp and go, wow, that is, that's bloody phenomenal. It doesn't stop with the exterior either. Daehlas gone absolutely mad as hell on the inside as well. Just take a look at it here. It's right in front of you. Every single room, every single surface, every single item that's been placed just looks... It just looks so well done, guys. I mean, we've got merges. We've got furniture that's been stacked in a really clever way. But above all else, it just flows and everything works. As ever, Daehlas, you've absolutely smashed it, pal. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot this week, we have Moonlight Cowboy with the Somewhere Under the Rainbow build. And why is this in the position that it's in? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? It's complicated as hell to build, it's unique, and above all, guys, it looks absolutely fantastic. This is taking floating container builds to the next bloody level. So where do we start with this bloody thing? Well, to even get a camp module up here to build it, you've got to do a load of bloody glitching. That's even before you start, you know, placing down any form of camp item. In my opinion, that is a massive kick in the penis, and I would never attempt this in a million years. It just seems like so much of a bloody faff. But this is why Moonlight Cowboy's builds are so interesting, because he's willing to do what a lot of people wouldn't do in order to get a crazy ass looking camp like this. Now, as well as the insane camp location, the build itself is actually really nice. You know, he's not gone mad with it. It's just a simple container with a nice roof on it and a very well put together garden area. Seriously, if you wanted to build this, you could quite easily replicate it. Maybe not underneath the Gorge Bridge, but yeah, it's definitely doable. Now, decor-wise, yeah, I like what you've done with it, Moonlight. You've not gone overboard with it, but obviously, you're quite limited to space here, aren't you? I do really like that little supported basket, pallet, crane thing you've made as well. That's a nice touch, that. Aye, mate, overall, you've done a properly solid job on the decor front, buddy. Moonlight, thank you very much for entering this week. As I said, I love the complexity of the thing. I think it's a really nice looking camp also. And as well as that, mate, I like how you've took scrappy items and made them look so goddamn clean. Fair play to you. Congratulations on the number 2 spot, my friend. More than well deserved. Right then, so now we come to the number 1 spot for this week, and the reason I've chose this, guys, is because it's just so goddamn unique. It's got a good theme behind it, and the decor is on point. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's winner of the clean build category is KH Corners with the Little White Spring Pizzeria. And yeah, there you go, guys. Like I said, it's unique and it looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it? The first thing that stood out to me, pal, was just how small this thing is, but you've got so much bloody detail on it. It's quite remarkable, actually, how you've managed it. And now that I'm looking at it even more, I don't even think you've not used any bloody conventional walls on it, have you? You've just used the brick defensive ones and a couple of stair posts. That's pretty cool, that is, bud. I mean, fair play to you, mate. Yeah, that's quite a unique way of doing things. I've seen quite a few like that now, and they always do stand out to me. Another thing that I really did like about this is how you've got it raised up off the ground as well, and that it's got, like, you know, a little platform around it. It is a rather unusual kind of design, but I think it works extremely well on this build. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it, and that's what I'm saying about it being unique. You don't see stuff like this in the Wasteland, do you guys? Aside from the cool and rather unusual structure, we've also got some incredible decor on this thing. I mean, the guys made pizzas, for Christ's sake, like actual pizzas out of camp items. Again, that is something I have never seen done before, probably because it's a kick in the dick to actually achieve that effect, but nonetheless, that's bloody cool, that is. More than worth an achy scrotum, in my opinion. KH, I'm in love with this build, pal. I love how different it is, I love the attention to detail, and it just stands out like a sore thumb, but in a really good way. Thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on the #1 spot. Hats off to you, mate. And that wraps up the clean section, guys. Did I get them in the right order? Would you have changed anything? Let me know down in the comments. So coming up next, we have the top 5 immersive category and, of course, the 4 honourable mentions for this week. However, before we get into all of that, if any of you guys watching fancy trying your hand at the top 5, it's dead simple to do. All you got to do is click on the description of this video and you'll see a link to my Discord. From there, submit your camps in video format to this section right here, and jobs are good 'un. You'll be entered into that week's top 5. Anyhow, enough of future top 5s, let's get back to the business at hand and take a look at this week's top 5 immersive builds. In the #5 spot, we have Unused Settee, with what I'm going to call the container camp. Yeah, I think that's an appropriate name. Now, this has been very kindly filmed and uploaded on behalf of Settee by Milne, so thank you very much for that, pal. It is appreciated. Now, straight off, let me tell you, this is one complicated arse build. Even the foundations, which are containers in this case, I don't think Settee's just, sunk them down into the ground naturally. I may be wrong on that, but they look a little bit too low for, that to work. I do believe he's gone underneath the map to achieve this effect, but again, I may be wrong. Please let me know down in the comments. Now, the complexity doesn't stop there either. As well as having these containers built in that manner, we've also got things merged into them as well. So he would have had to, merge them items into the containers and then place them down and build up from there. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I struggle explaining things like that. Another cool aspect about this camp is, again, I don't think it has any conventional walls. It's just been made out of the defensive items. It is a complicated build, this. It's deceptive. You look at it and you think, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but when you actually cast your eye a little bit deeper, it's a tricky one, this. So, decor-wise, this thing is really, really nicely kitted out. My favourite part about it all, being, a bit of a car nerd, is the engine that you've made there at the Voltec generator. It looks quite simple to do, but it's really bloody effective. I mean, what have you got there? A couple of toolboxes merged in as rocker covers, I do believe. That is a really smart piece of kit, that. And the inside is just as impressive too. We've got a lot of weapon stands merged into a table, so we've got the guns just sitting on top. That's a nice touch. I think that's a really clever idea, actually, and it looks bloody smart. And yeah, the rest of the interior is pretty much the same. There's a load of merges. Everything that's been placed down looks like it's, like it should be there. You've done a really good bloody job on this settee. Some very clever placements here, and it all works, which is a nice thing. Thank you very much for entering this week, my friend, and congratulations on the #5 spot. More than well deserved. In the #4 spot, we have Ebu666 with the locks, stocks, and barrels build. And if you like immersion, guys, yeah, this one's got you covered. It's scrappy as hell. The first thing that stood out to me about all of this is the use of that B-52 bomber. At least I think it's a B-52. I don't know, guys. Please let me know in comments. Anyhow, yeah, that bloody broken plane. That is a prefab you do not see getting used, and it's a bit of a shame because it's a really cool design, that. It's unique and it stands out. You can tell that whoever designed that actually put some bloody love into it. So yeah, it is nice to see it getting used in this camp here. In terms of the actual design of this place, it's not really... There's no actual real theme about it. To me, it just looks like a junky settlement. Somebody's found that plane and they've just built out around it. Kind of made it their own. And personally, I think it looks absolutely bloody fantastic. Ebu has done an amazing job at turning this into, well, a scrappy little a scrappy little camp. That's effectively what it is, isn't it? And you know what, guys? I actually do think he's incorporated a little pre-existing structure over there as well. Now, I'm not too familiar with this spot, but that doesn't look like, you know, any item in game. It does kind of ring a bell. It's definitely in the Toxic Valley, I do believe, but please, let me know down in comments. I'm actually rather interested about that. Now, another thing I just want to show you guys before we take a look at the decor, because believe me, this place is extremely well decorated, is this little missile truck that Ebu's made here. That thing is cool as penguin piss. I've seen it done before. I think it's Hitbit who's made one of these in the past, or was it Cover? It was one of the two, anyway. Yeah, that thing, Ebu, top marks on that, pal. Really, really cool creation you've got there. Onto the decor, and yeah, what can I say, really? This is so well done, guys. On the outside here, we've got what seems to be a little trading area. And again, much like Settee, Ebu's sunk in his weapons display racks into items, so the guns are just sitting, you know, on top of the stash boxes here. That is a properly neat little trick that, you know, I think I'm going to steal that. It's such a simple little merge, but so damn effective at the same time. Interior-wise, yes, again... I don't really need to say much, do I? The level of detail that Ebu's put into this build on the decorating front is... It's next level, guys. It's been a while since I've said it, so here goes. It is not easy to decorate Scrappy. It just isn't. It takes a lot of time and a lot of planning to make it look natural, to make it look like somebody has actually come along and placed down that item. Ebu, my friend, you have absolutely killed it in every aspect with this build, pal. Everything from the exterior design down to the littlest piece of decor. You can tell you've put a lot of effort into it, and it really does show. Thank you very much for submitting this week, my friend. Congratulations on the number 4 spot. In the number 3 spot this week, we have yet again Pizzeria with the wooden log house. And wow, the exterior of this thing, before we even say or look at anything else, it looks absolutely stunning. I was in two minds of whether or not this is an immersive build or a clean build, to be honest with you. But yeah, looking at it again now, it definitely has an immersive and lore-friendly kind of vibe to it. To me, ladies and gents, this looks like a cabin that's been built after the bombs have dropped. You know, it is quite scruffy to look at, but it also has a rather well-built kind of vibe about it. You know, like a pre-war builder's come out into wilderness and thrown together himself a home out of shit that he could find lying about. Yeah, it's got a proper... It's a proper unusual mix of styles, this, but I like it. This camp isn't just a good looker either. It's also very functional. Underneath the actual main building itself here, we've got all the workbenches that we'd ever need. We can craft ammo, we can fix our armour, everything's available to us. Now, yes, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but on little builds like this, it is really difficult in some cases to get down all of your workbenches and have them looking good as well. I mean, sure, you can just slap them wherever you want, but if they look shit, in my opinion, it can ruin a whole entire camp. That's not the case with this build, though. Macca's actually done a really good job of, you know, keeping his workbenches and his camp separate, but also have it looking good as well. So now we'll take a look at the inside of the main building itself, and yeah, what can I say? It is cozy as shit. This place has a proper, well, it has a proper cabin vibe about it, in all honesty. It isn't as well decorated as Ebu's, for example, or Settees. However, the decoration that Macca has chose to do fits in with the style of build. It's all well and good filling your camp up with pure shit, but if it doesn't match in, it's just not going to work, guys. And personally, I think Macca's he's found a good balance, hasn't he? Thank you very much for entering this week, my friend, and congratulations on the number 3 spot. Right, so in the number 2 spot this week, we have Milne with Yasmin's Takeout. And the exterior of this thing, I can't work out what it reminds me of. It's like, I don't know, there's a theme park in England called Camelot. It's shut down now, it's like a zombie apocalypse thing, but it kind of looks like something from that, but I don't know, I'm waffling. Now, first things first, I love the shape of this thing. It is different, you know, we've got the mad corner boy 1200s there. That's definitely an unusual design choice, but yeah, I think it works. It does make it stand out. You're not going to see many camps like that in the Wasteland, I don't think. Unusual designs aside though, the exterior of this thing looks scrappy as hell, guys. I love the use of the ivy. I actually like the Helvetia set there as well. It looks really good in this build. Then protruding windows are just, they're totally transforming this build right now. I've always said Milne is one of the best immersive builders in community, and here's the evidence right in front of you. That is fantastic, that exterior, mate. Milne hasn't just stopped with, you know, the actual structure either. We've got some little tent area over here, which he's spent more time decorating than I'd probably spend on one entire full build. He's got himself the little prefab bunker as well, which personally I think is one of the best ones Bethesda's ever added to the game. And to top it off, he's even got his own little garden, which has been fantastically well put together. I like that, Milne. Interior-wise, as you'd expect, he has absolutely killed it yet again. This guy, he is amazing at decorating things. And again, the evidence is there right in front of you. What can I say? It looks bloody awesome, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, it is an absolute shithole, but that's what we're after in these lore-friendly kind of builds. Seriously, buddy, I don't know how you do it. I'd love to have a decorating lesson off you one day, because let me tell you, mine is severely bloody lacking. I could learn a thing or two. Now, just one thing I have noticed, Milne, before we wrap it up. What is that roof set you've got there, the glass pieces? Or is this actually a pre-existing building that I don't know about? Please let me know, because it's going to be driving me insane, that is, bud. Anyhow, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 2 spot. So now we come to the number 1 spot. And who do you think's got it for the immersive category this week? Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep you waiting for just a little bit longer, because it's time for the honourable mentions section. Yes, and as ever, we have 4 of the buggers. We have 2 honourable mentions from the clean section, and of course, we've got 2 from the immersive section. So let's start off with the clean ones, and the first one goes to Alex Autoax with the Golden Circle Camp build. And let me start off by saying, mate, any other week, this would have been in the top 5. It was just so hard to judge the clean category this week. To be fair, it was bloody hard to judge them both. But yeah, this thing is gorgeous, my friend. I love the design of it and how you've used the new, what is it, bloody hell, Palace of the Winding Path kit. I think that's the best use of it I've seen thus far. This is a proper eye-catching build, and it's not a simple one either, is it? It's circular, double stacked, in fact. No, triple stacked. That's not an easy thing to do, guys. Now, interior-wise, there isn't much going on, but I think that's the whole entire design of it. It reminds me of some kind of shrine or temple kind of thing. So yeah, I can understand that. I must say, though, that lighting arrangement that you've made and how your roofs look, that's stunning. That is absolutely beautiful, that is. Alex, thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on the honourable mention. So the second clean mention goes to Lady H with the, oh, mein Kaffee. The Coffee Cafe, and again, this is another one that any other week would have been in the top 5. Seriously, it was, both categories were stupid this week. So what Lady H has done here is made a coffee version of the giant teapot, and she's done a good job, hasn't she? Of course she has. I mean, take a look at it, guys. It is pretty bloody convincing, isn't it? Especially when you get in close and you see the layout of it. It does look like the giant teapot in some respects. I'm not talking about the structure, obviously, just the surrounding area. She's even gone to the lengths of making a park like you'd find at the teapot as well. This is some bloody good work, this Lady H. Like I say, top 5 material any other week. She's not only killed it with the exterior either, the inside of it is properly well put together too. Yeah, Lady H, you've done a smashing job on this. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the honourable mention. Right then, so now we come to the immersive bad boys, and the first mention goes to Batandra with the Shrinery camp. I know you like it when I do the German accent, but no, I think that is woodcutter or lumberjack. I don't know, it's something to do with wood, I think. Either way, it looks bloody amazing, doesn't it? And I don't feel I need to say this yet again, but we'll just assume this for every single build entered. This could have been in the top 5 any other week. There, that's the last time I'm saying it. Now, exterior-wise, this thing looks actually quite spooky. It looks like an abandoned... I don't know, it's got like a a Barney kind of vibe to it. I don't know why, that's just my personal opinion. In all honesty, it is a solid bloody structure. I like what you've done with it, Batandra. Now onto the interior, and yeah, this has got a very industrial feel about it. And there you go, a wood pile with somebody chainsawing. So yeah, it's something to do with wood. Is it a sawmill? Who knows? Either way, I love it. Batandra, you've done an amazing job on this one. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the honourable mention. Now our fourth and final mention goes to Based Potato with the Wastelander's Shack, and this is a first entry by Potato as well, and what a way to make a bloody entrance. This thing is incredible. I love what you've done with this. It is such an immersive looking build. Honestly, that exterior, it's down with one of the best I've seen. For this kind of design anyway. It is fucking phenomenal, to be honest. I also believe you've incorporated some pre-existing stuff there as well. Again, nice touch, fair play. Potato, this is a properly solid build, and I hope you're going to enter again because I'd love to see more builds off you. If this is your first entry, I'd love to see what you come up with in the future. Thank you very much for entering. Congratulations on the honourable mention. And with that, guys, that is all the mentions complete. Thank you all again for entering this week. Now we come back to the number one spot, and let me tell you, sometimes there's a builder that just comes along out of nowhere and absolutely tears it up. This is by far one of the most impressive camps I've ever seen, and probably one of the most impressive camps I'm going to see for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, this week's winner is Acid Rain with the Overtime build, and yeah, this is by far the best crane I've ever seen in Fallout 76. Not like it's a massive building niche that everybody's building cranes, but you know what I'm saying, don't you? Guys, this thing is quite simply phenomenal. The level of detail in this whole camp, not just the crane, the whole thing together, it's unreal. Even the way that it's been filmed as well. There has been so much time put into this overall. It's crazy. It's not just the camp that's mind-blowing as well. It's the location. This is built on top of the skyscraper in Charleston. Yes, you can build here in adventure mode. This isn't a worlds build. However, building on top of this skyscraper isn't as easy as building down on the ground. It's a lot more complicated. So Acid Rain, as well as doing an incredible camp here, has had a load more challenges on top of that as well. So let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at the crane itself, and I'm trying to get my head around it, but I'm struggling. The main boom of it is obviously made out of stairs. I've never seen that done before, and it looks really, really good, actually. I see a lot of people, including myself, using stair posts and conduits and whatnot, but honestly, I think this is by far the best design in terms of crane building. The cab has been made out of what appears to be a power armor stand and other various bits of junk. Again, another really clever way of repurposing items. I think I can even see a mole rat generator down there as well to add a little bit of, I don't know, cogs and turny wheels. The kind of shit you'd see in a crane is what I'm saying to you. Now, aside from the crane, the little construction area that Rain's made as well, it's really well fleshed out. There's a lot of detail in it, so much decor. It genuinely does look like a little construction site, and it's just little details that give it that effect. For example, simple things like conduits on the floor. They look like pipes, don't they? We've got racks up with weapons on them that look like tools. It's simple little things, guys, but it really does add to the overall effect. Now, a quick little FYI here as well. This video has only got 21 views on YouTube, which is, it's criminal, in my opinion. So I'm going to ask all of you guys if you can go on over there and, I don't know, see if we can get it up to 500. What do you reckon? Do you think we could do that? Aye, of course we can. This is one of them builds that, in my opinion, just has to be seen. Acid, thank you very much for entering this week. This thing was... it was incredible. I think you can tell that I liked it, can't you? Congratulations on the number one spot. More than well deserved. And thank you for everybody who entered this week. Believe me when I say, it's getting harder and harder every week, guys. Again, this week I've had to take builds out that should be in the top 5, but there's just not enough room to get them all in with all the mad builds that are coming out. Now, for anybody thinking of entering the top 5 or who does enter the top 5, next week there's not going to be one. The next time we're going to be doing this is Halloween weekend, and that's all going to be spooky theme builds. So if you want to, submit for them, again, head on over to Discord, you know what to do. As ever, I'd like to say a massive thank you to all my channel members and Patreons. The extra support is much appreciated. If that's anything that you are interested in, there's a link in description, as well as links to all my other socials too. Anyhow, as we say it north, I'll love you and leave you, and I'll catch you at next one. Have fun, everybody.